Hi, Capricorn. You know, I'm sorry about not being able to get your reading out to you last time. I had too much on my plate. I know a lot of tarot readers on YouTube, that's their only job. That, unfortunately, is not the same with me. I have 3 other jobs, and they take a lot of physical and a lot of different types of energy. So I had to bow out from this, but I'm back. Let's go ahead and get into your reading for November 2019. Show me energies present for the sign of Capricorn. Thank you. You have the 9 of Swords. Now, the 9 of Swords is a card of frustration, mental fatigue, exhaustion, emotional exhaustion, mental just running amok in your mind. It's focusing on something and not being able to let it go. Oftentimes it's pain, worry, extreme stress, sleepless nights, not eating, you know, a lot of things being plagued by your mind basically in a situation. Show me more for Capricorn. You have the 4 of Pentacles coming out in reverse. This card talks about opening up to the potential for new things to happen. Some of you could be worried very much in regard to a new situation, moving forward in a new situation, but you could be giving it a chance. If you're giving it a chance, try to just open up to that potential and possibility. Queen of Pentacles here. Queen of Pentacles is Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. It's your energy as well. And so basically that's one of stability. It's somebody who is very nurturing, loving, somebody who takes care of the family. They are entrepreneurs. They are someone who really just is kind of, they rule their own roost. They are in their own power, and really kind of nice energy actually. 8 of Wands in reverse. Let's just pull the rest of your cards out and then we'll get into the message, okay? Two of Wands. Page of Wands. Temperance. Two of Swords in reverse. And the Moon. And the bottom of the deck, the High Priestess. So it seems like this is presenting the past. It can also be the current situation. You're going to have to figure out how that fits just because these are general readings. You may have been worried about a situation regarding your home. You may have been worried about a situation in regard to your finances, what you've been holding on to. Is it enough? You know, have you, it's basically somebody very focused on their family, making sure that things are stable, making sure that finances are pretty much, you know, tended to in a way that's almost kind of like hypervigilant. Some of you also may have had setbacks in regard to a direction that a child is supposed to go. So whether that's schooling, that also could be a situation in like financial setbacks regarding a child's tuition for school or some sort of classes that they may need to take. There may be an issue in regard to that, waiting on a situation, which direction, which school to go in. Some of you are also, figuring out, you know, like, okay, I want to go to college or I want to go to this sort of course or something. And it's like you have the opportunity to have 2 different things, and it's kind of figuring out which one is going to be the most logical and I want to say like reliable, you know, in the future. That's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like you're kind of like trying to see ahead in the future to see which situation, which scenario is going to be best for you. Some of you are keeping this quiet. Some of you are not ready to communicate about this. Some of you are also like going to tarot readers, you know, to see, hey, what about this situation versus this situation? What's going to be better for me? Right now, it feels like there's almost like a standstill or a pause in regard to the direction that you want to go in. You're going to make the right choice, but I feel like no matter what, you're going to be thrown off and inundated by worry and emotional frustration. It's high anxiety level. So whatever you're getting into, Capricorn, it's big. This can be changes within career. This can be changes within relationships. I feel this is more like career-based though, whether you're choosing a different sector altogether, new career altogether. A lot of readings have been about like an entire overhaul in regard to like changing your entire work situation. I feel some of you are having a difficult time trusting that, you know, not really certain, but still having to move forward. You know, I feel like you can't do enough, or maybe you feel like you can't do enough. I'm not sure how you feel about this, but it's like trying to do enough, making sure that everything's taken care of before you step into something fully. And I think you'll get there, but you have to kind of reconcile your emotional aspect with this. Why is this so emotionally charged for you? Is it primarily because you're dealing with children? Is it you're dealing with your family? Or is this something that is for you and you're taking your future very seriously? With the moon and temperance here, it's almost as if like we are out of balance on an internal level, yet we're speaking up and moving forward. You know, we're moving forward towards what we need, you know, and making a decision. Let's go ahead and clarify this reading, please. Show me the 9 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords. So the 8 of Swords with the 9 of Swords, it's basically one step backwards or forwards, however you choose to look at it. But it's being in your mind. It's worrying almost for no. Some of you have like a definite worry, a concern, and I'm not saying that this isn't a reason to have worry, but if you're creating different scenarios in your head and like kind of sticking with them, if you're making things up and believing them, if you're talking yourself out of situations that otherwise might be potentially helpful to you, be aware of that. Be careful about that. You know, I understand needing to evaluate something, but like if you're terrified of moving forward, you need to check that energy. Show me the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Cups. The 6 of Cups talks about situations either from our past, people from our past coming back into our lives. This could also, in a job situation, talk about the people that we hold close to us. It can talk about job situations that you've been at for a long time, things that have been kind of handed down through the families, you know. So, I don't know, some families will have generations of pasta makers or generations of police officers or whatever it is. And this may be a situation where you're trying to break away from that mold and find something that might be better suited for yourself versus like falling into, you know, oh, this is just what my family does, you know. Some of you may also be opening up to somebody from your past as well. I don't know if that is a connection point to your future. Could be a family member, but it's becoming more so available. You have Strength in reverse here for the Queen of Pentacles. So that can talk about a lot of impatience, you know, in regard to trying to figure out how to make everything flow all at once, trying to get your ducks in a row, you know. It is about patience, though. It is about perseverance, and I think it's important to not be stuck in your mind in regard to how things are going to be. Just allow them to be. You have the 4 of Swords here for the Eight of Wands in reverse. This is basically a waiting game, you guys. Some of you are dealing with situations like you might have an offer between two situations. You might have two colleges to go to. You might have two things planned for your kid. You know, different classes, different schools. It's like this waiting game, like one or the other, one or the other. And it feels like at this time, you don't have all of the answers in regard to which you are going to choose. Some of you, you may be picked by both, and that will be confusing because you're going to have to basically go within yourself and figure out what's going to resonate with you the best. At this point, though, I think with this Eight of Wands and the Four of Swords, I think it's important to take some time. Try not to get yourself wound up. Try not to get ahead of yourself, essentially. This is a time of basically just allowing things to play out, allowing things to take their course. Show me the Two of Wands here. Show me the Two of Wands. So you have the Three of Pentacles popping out in reverse. That's an interesting card to have here, especially in regard to choices in direction. Which direction do I go in? Which option do I pick? You know, what's going to serve me best? Which path do I take in life? And then you have this card of no support, no connection, people not working together. You know, is this what you're coming from? Is this the energy that you're moving away from, not being able to work together with people? Is this situations where you're worried that the things that you're going to get involved, you're not going to be able to have support in? It's kind of confusing energy. What's at the bottom of the deck? You have the Two of Pentacles. So juggling things. So the Three of Pentacles in reverse with the Two of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck and the Two of Wands. Options, opportunities, potentials, juggling certain directions, needing to know which direction you want to go in, but also not feeling supported in this. This may be why you're having so much anxiety. Some of you are doing this all by yourself. Some of you are using up all of your savings. Some of you are taking too much on your shoulders. But you know what? I don't even know if I want to say that too much on your shoulders. Like, who am I to tell you what you can handle? Like, people are pretty resilient, actually. Like, sometimes it gets scary in regard to decision making and the directions that we go in, but for the most part, we're fairly resilient. And Capricorns, if there's anything I know about a Capricorn, you guys are hella resilient. You're super smart. You're in touch with like the things that people don't really understand about the necessities of life. You're very connected to an information of how things go, how things work. You know, you don't miss a beat. And I think that kind of baffles a lot of people because what do they say about Capricorns? You guys start old when you're young, and as you mature, you get younger. It's almost as if like you have this Benjamin Button thing going on. But yeah, I feel here that like you may be worried very much about not having support in the direction that you're going in. Like I said, some of you are spending your savings. Some of you are kind of putting yourself in jeopardy in regard to the direction that you're going in. Which is interesting because you do end this reading. Oops, I'm not going to pick those up. I've got them, put them back in the deck. You do end this reading with the moon, which is kind of worrisome just because the moon can talk a lot about deception. It can talk about dishonesty, not knowing what is hidden, not knowing what's going on. You do have the High Priestess and the moon, two cards of silence, two cards of not knowing everything. This reading is weird, Capricorn. Page of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles essentially talks about evaluations, looking into what we've already experienced, what we've given to a situation, our actions within things, and, you know, do they warrant moving forward or do they warrant scrapping the entire idea? You know, with the Page of Pentacles, that's a new beginning, but it's something that you have to work towards. You have to build it from the ground up. You know, if you're moving into a new like sector or a new advancement within your career or a new career entirely, I think it's important for you to take the information that you've gained in one and put it towards the other. They're not going to be the same, but how do you end up balancing that energy out? You know, where do you incorporate that, and where can you how is that well received? I'm feeling. Show me Temperance here. Two cards popping out. You have the Emperor, and you have the Three of Swords, the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Some of you may be dealing with an Aries, some of you may be dealing with a Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, or Sag, but you know, over here with the Emperor and the Three of Swords, I'm feeling like some of you may be having a difficulty in regard to connecting with your emotions and your feelings in regard to what you're feeling towards a situation versus just going with the flow. You're conflicted, it seems. Hang on one second. I think some of you are also getting over your worries and fears. Some of you are going to step into a position of power. And that doesn't mean like you're going to be a CEO or something like that. You might be, but it feels like here you're leaving a situation. You're kind of in the point of making new things happen. And I think if you've been like in a place of emotional distress, you're going to kind of bypass that. You're going to step past it and cut that energy out. It's almost like mind over matter type, like overcoming fear type energy. Show me the Two of Swords in reverse. You have the Page of Pentacles in reverse here. He was upright over here, now he's in reverse. Page of Pentacles is basically somebody who has cold feet. They're not certain. You may be voicing your opinions about situations regarding this new situation. You may be communicating why you feel this might not work. This may be a situation where you are turned down for one, but have the potential for the other as well. Something that you've been waiting for to hear. And it may be a situation that you might have had your heart set on a bit more than the other option, but the other option comes through. That may be a disappointing factor here, Capricorn. Yeah, the Page of Pentacles in reverse can also be just like projects and things not coming together, not moving forward on a certain thing that you kind of had your heart set for. And then here with the Moon, you have the Eight of Wands. So you have the Eight of Wands here, it's in reverse. Here you have it upright. Here you have the Page of Pentacles upright. Here you have it in reverse. It's what I'm feeling here is it's like, it's almost as if the thing that you really, really want, you have two options. One you super, super wanted. Maybe it made more money. Maybe it was more, I don't know what it was. Perhaps it was more of a status thing for you. But the other one seems to be opening up. Okay. And I think that may leave you a bit uncomfortable just because you don't know what that entails. It's almost as if like you're hoping for one, but then you get the other, which isn't necessarily bad because you don't know what the other's going to bring, but you move forward anyhow. Some of you, this may also be a very big situation in regard to moving. This may be moving states, cities, countries. I don't see the world isn't in here, but this can talk about flight. It can talk about moving. Some of you are worried about your children in regard to if you take this position, you're going to have to uproot everything. That's what I'm feeling here. Can you give me, I want to, hang on. God. Please give me more advice for Capricorn, because this reading is very confusing. Please give me more advice. More advice for Capricorn. Yeah, so you're having to walk away from one thing, but what you walk away from actually ends up being something that you have the King of Pentacles here with the Queen of Pentacles now. I don't know if this is you having to walk away from a person. It may be, or looking towards the past after leaving somebody because you've had to, you know, it's like you have the opportunity to go do something completely different, but you'll have to leave somebody behind. That may be also part of this worry. But here we also have the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This Page of Pentacles is showing up 3 times in this reading. So this is about new beginnings. It's about potentials. It's about digging in and trying it out, you know. I'm feeling like there's some of you are going to be leaving a situation though, and that might be difficult for you to experience. There may be a lot of heartache and frustration regarding that. But it feels like the thing that you're going towards in the end actually makes a better difference. It's frustrating. It makes more money, it gives you more stability, but it's almost as if like your heart is either back here or your heart is with somebody else and you had to leave them. This may also be a situation between like trips and flights and trips and back and forth, you know. I'm doing this because I want to stabilize things for my family, for my children, but it's like I have to travel here, I have to travel back and forth, and you may not know your schedule all the time. You may not know when you're like, it's almost like being on call. Some of you, that may be the problem with the second outcome or the second potential. It's like you don't have it offers you good stability, but it doesn't offer you consistency in regard to your plan, your, you know, like planning your situation. It's almost as if you're going to have to be back and forth, and that can become very exhausting, very tiring. Yeah, I'm not seeing a situation necessarily, I mean, where people are having to completely leave each other forever. That might be the case, but it's almost as if like we're having to pay attention to what is most necessary. And right now I see family. I see the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles 3 times in this reading, okay? You know, it's like taking care of your children, taking care of your wife, your husband, whoever is either the one who makes the most money in the family or the breadwinner. I mean, you know, but it's like here, it's like the heart, the star there, it's almost as if like that's the star. It's like you're supposed to be in this direction, but we're coming this way, you know. We had to walk away from something, but we want to walk, it's like we walk away, but we want to go this way. We want to go back. God, I hope that this is making sense for somebody. And that's the thing too, with readings, like, I'm not trying to give myself an easy out if this doesn't make sense to anybody, but I've had readings where they're so bizarre and off the wall and nobody resonates with them. And then one person's like, oh my God, you told my story right now, right there, like every single thing. And I have to say, okay, that was for you then, you know? I try to do generalized readings, but not all the time do they come out that way. Sometimes they are more about like a personal type of reading, and I don't know you, but maybe that was your reading, you know? Please show me the energy of the Queen of Pentacles in this situation. What is the energy of the Queen of Pentacles here? So the Knight of Cups. So, oh yeah, okay. So you have Knight of Cups, 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords, I believe, is here as well. This is energy. We're sharing the frustration, sharing the emotions about being sad that your partner's leaving or that you're having to leave a situation. Some of you, this is emotional outpouring in regard to, I just feel like feeling your emotions. What is the energy between the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles in this situation? What is the energy? Okay. The High Priestess here. So, uncertainty, not knowing, you know, sometimes it can be about secrets, but I don't necessarily feel that here in this reading. I feel that this is more about not knowing the direction, not knowing what can come of a situation. But I'm going to leave it here because at the bottom of the deck, we have the 6 of Wands. Okay, this is about, what's under the 6 of Wands? The World. Yeah, so this is about basically positivity. It's about getting in alignment with things that actually work. It feels like it's going to take a fair amount of time and just a lot of exertion to get this off and running. It feels like there's going to be a overhaul of everything. Six of Wands, the World, and what's under there, the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, some of you are going to be having to travel for your work. So this is maybe a different state, city, it may be a different country, but some of you are going to have to go back and forth and back and forth. Okay, so as we go on in this reading, it feels like I'm making more sense of this. This is a very, I don't know, like how to explain it. It was like this person here, this energy here, this energy here, it's all conflicting. But what I'm feeling is it's like somebody having to, basically you have two options, two potentials, and then you have something that you wanted doesn't come out the way you wanted it, but then something else opens up, not necessarily what you want, but it ends up providing you more stability, more things to go through, more things to stabilize your life. So let's go ahead and pull an oracle here. Hang on one sec, I need to find my oracle book. Okay, here it is. So this is the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle deck. I kind of love this deck. I couldn't find it forever, and it was literally in front of me. Show me energy. Show me what Capricorn needs to know about this situation. What does Capricorn need to know? You have two cards popping out, Capricorn. You have Bloodstone and you have Blue Lace Agate. So let's check out Bloodstone first. Oh my God. Perseverance. Bloodstone has always had a powerful connection with maintaining vitality, regulating menstruation, and staunching blood loss, as well as purifying the kidneys. Detoxifying, here, hang on one second. Okay. You are a magical being, an amalgam of your individuality, your family, and your environment. Let go of the past. Look closely at your ancestral line. Recognize toxic patterns subconsciously running your life. Break away. Be strong. You may be unnecessarily aggressive or defensive. Acknowledge mistakes and let inner disharmonies be transmuted. It's kind of what I was mentioning earlier, like kind of the bloodline thing. Like if you are a third generation cop, or if you're like, you know, I don't know, sixth generation pasta maker, whatever the fuck you are, you know, if there's something, I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it like that, but like whatever it might be, it seems like if there's like a history, a lineage within like, this is what we do, this is how it's done. It's almost as if you're like separating away from that energy, Capricorn. Detoxification and chaos precede transmutation. Perseverance is needed. Locked doors open, obstacles are swept away, and romance blossoms. Persevere your good reputation. Recognize your enemies and keep them close. Do not be deceived. A farewell is called for. Mourn appropriately and let go. You are a spiritual warrior. Be assertive. I feel especially in regard to a farewell is called for, mourn appropriate and let go. Here, I feel like the female aspect of this may be frustrated, may be hurting, but I don't feel it's like a breakup necessarily. I feel like this is a separation, but it's necessary due to somebody's line of work or some sort of change within a situation entirely. It's not going to be forever, but it's going to be a very drastic change here. The world talks about changes, transmutations, moving things forward. One cycle ends, a new one begins, change, you know. It also talks about world travel, foreign connections. Okay, so where's the other one? Blue Lace Agate, self-expression. Blue Lace Agate connects spirit with intellect, highlighting integrity. It enhances the ability to communicate effectively what is in your mind and your heart. Attune your inner being to express the fullness of who you are. Be confident when speaking in public, as you have much to share. You may have been silenced in the past. Repressing thoughts and feelings causes throat problems. So speak your mind gently, honestly, and clearly. You have a gift of serenity. Use it wisely. Speak your heartfelt truth in integrity and confidence. Do not fear being judged. Expect news shortly, and keep lines of communication open. Yeah. Events unfold slowly. Return to basics and start again if necessary. Focus your mind and open your intuition. Your life will be long and happy. Accept your sensitive side. Here, when I was talking about this, here, I'll move these cards so you can see. Sorry. This 8 of Wands in reverse with this 4 of Swords, kind of when I was like, this is going to be a waiting game. I feel like expect news shortly and keep lines of communication open. Sorry, we have to open up these cards because you guys can't see anything. Yeah, I feel like there's the lines of communication are open, but it may be to a situation that you thought may have gone one way and it went another. It's being malleable here and holding out for something better. Okay, I hope that this was helpful. Oh my God. What a very interesting reading, Capricorn, and also very confusing because I'm feeling like a lot of things all at once. And I mean, how are you guys going to know how I read? But like I get images and messages and they basically come in, like if you close your eyes and you imagine on the left side of your head, like there's a door that opens up. I get messages that come this way and they just come and come and come. And sometimes they're like this. I like them when they're like this because at least I can understand them, you know, and then sometimes they come this way and it's like, what the fuck? So yeah, a lot of things all at once, but I hope that this was helpful. I hope it was cohesive enough for somebody. And good luck to you, whoever this is for, you know, I mean, this is a lot to do, a lot to chew on, and have patience and persevere. I think you're making the right decision, but that doesn't, just because you're making the right decision doesn't mean it's an easy pill to swallow. This feels very difficult here, Capricorn. This feels very frustrating, like kind of being between a rock and a hard place. And so I hope that it was helpful for you. Whatever you can get out of this reading is beneficial, I hope. And if you did, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you choose to donate, there's a link in the description box below the video. Yeah, good luck with everything, Capricorn. I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.